Good evening everybody, make a start then. This is the Community Plan Committee held the 5th of March 2024. The agenda item 1 to receive apologies for absence.
Councillor Irene Fazy.
Thank you. To note declarations of members' interests.
Chair.
Nope. To confirm and sign the minutes of the Community Plan Committee meeting held on the 23rd of January 2024. Is there any issues arising from those minutes? Are we all happy with those minutes? Yeah. Proposer? Second? All those in favour? All those against? Abstentions? Moving on to item 4, public participation. This is a period not exceeding 15 minutes for members of the public to ask questions or submit comments that relate to the items on the agenda. Any member of the public wishing to participate should email support at crewtowncouncil.gov.uk by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting, providing their name, email address and indication on the subject of their question or comment. Alternatively, your comments and questions can be submitted in advance and read to the committee at the meeting. Attendance at the meeting in person is permitted, but space is limited, and you are asked to consider if you might be able to access the meeting virtually in consideration of available space and associated guidance. Please feel free to contact the office, etc. So we have had a question submitted. This is from David Hughes of Bedford Street Crew. He would like the following question put to this evening's Community Plan Committee. In 2022, the Nantwich Road Action Group were awarded funding to buy Christmas trees to put on shop fronts along Nantwich Road. As no trees were purchased, it was subsequently resolved to inform the Action Group to either buy trees or return the funding. As no trees were installed last Christmas, meaning 2023, has the Action Group returned the funding it received? Our response: the Nantwich Road Action Group returned the mash balls which they purchased and now have the Christmas trees and lights. Right. I'd like to now welcome Robert Hales.
Thank you.
Who has asked to speak to the group regarding item 6.7, pages 50, relating to his application for a grant.
Good evening. First of all, let me say apologies for Imelda not being here. She's tied up in London, unfortunately. So I'll go through what I want to say anyway. We are a group called 3C, Connecting Communities in Crewe, and the idea is to have a carnival this year. Let me just read some notes to you. I'll tell you who we are. Romelda currently resides in Crewe, and currently she's the area manager for Co-op Funeral Services, based in Crewe. She's got responsibility for 7 branches across East Cheshire, previously employed as a school teacher and originally from London. Me, I live in Haslington. My career involved working for 3 insurance companies, then worked for 21 years with NatWest RBS in various roles in sales and sales management, mostly in the Midlands and the North West. My final position covered the whole of the UK. Currently I run a small business consultancy on a part-time basis, as I'm now semi-retired and I'm originally from Birmingham. Background to our crew. The initial idea of our crew came from Romelda and was trialled successfully on LY2 Bank Holiday Monday, August 2023. We have together formed Connecting Communities Cheshire 3C, it should be Crewe actually, sorry, focusing solely on creating an annual event to celebrate Crewe, past, present and future. We previously were involved with another group who focus on many different ideas and events. The aim of 3C, we believe in focusing on one objective, which is for us more productive and will give every other community group, club, association, business, educational establishment and local government services the opportunity to showcase their offerings to all ages and the many diverse and inclusive groups in the town. We were both shocked to find a town the size of Crewe has not had a carnival since 2008, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yet Sandbach manages a 2 to 3 day transport festival and Alsager has a carnival, both annually. We accept there's a lot of planning and work to do to successfully pull off such a large event, hence the decision to focus on this and this alone. We welcome any input from any interested group, regardless of whom or what they wish to represent. We support diversity and inclusion first and foremost. Also, we have identified another group that may know little about Crewe, and that there is a large number of newcomers to the area who have chosen to live here and know precious little about it. They just tend to come and commute. We also look for constructive input from both Crewe Town Council and Cheshire East Council. Crewe has suffered recently by the decision to cancel HS2 north of Birmingham, and we believe strongly in creating a vision of Crewe as a diverse, inclusive, dynamic, culturally aware town, not just with a great heritage but with an even better future. Always open to suggestions, ideas, collaboration and of course funding. If anyone's got any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Rouse. Go on, Martin.
Can you tell me who you are first? So
Councillor Edwards, Crewe East. There have been other groups.
yeah, I'm aware of that.
I was very briefly involved in one group last year. Are you the same group?
No,
Are members of that group now a part of your group?
no, but they're welcome to join if they want to.
And have you been engaged or in communication?
No, I just want to get the basic thing off the ground so we all know where we start before any publicity goes out. This, to me, that's the organised way I do things, proactively. Find out what's possible first and then invite people in.
So, if, Councillor Dawn Clark, Chair of the Community Plan Committee, so exactly how many is there actually in your group at the moment?
2 with 1 more joining shortly.
Okay. I've seen your risk assessment,
Yeah.
which just seemed to be just an edited version of the Lyceum Square event last year.
Yeah,
But it's
which,
still,
as
you know.
I'm happy to, that's what Andrew Latham suggested using
yeah,
as a
but
template, but
yeah, it's a template. Then you haven't actually done
no,
the
it
risk
is
assessment.
a draft. No, I'm getting in contact, well, I've been in contact with Duttons and I'm going to do it properly and professionally. I'll go through it with them.
Yeah.
It's only a draft, it says draft on it. So that's all we're working on at the moment. So I talked to Duttons, I've got to see Andrew Latham again. There's a lot to do with this. I want to make it sure it's spot on.
I know there's a lot to do. I was involved with it 43 years ago.
No, that's
with
good.
my
No,
first
good.
carnival. So I, you know, I know there is a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of things that are involved, and that is at the moment is we're here to listen. We're here to support. Martin is chair of the events committee.
Yeah, fine.
And I've asked sought advice from him, and at this moment the events calendar for Crewe Town Council has been developed for this year, and it is full, and we have no capacity to actually deliver a carnival this year. We can give advice and support and guide you and signpost you to other organisations, and
Yes,
we will
please,
be
anything.
considering it, but for us to actually take it on this year and to resource it is really is within our capacity. Isn't that correct, Martin? So
So what you're saying is we have to do it alone.
we can advise and support, but it's to the extent that I see from this is that you wanted our staff, our resources to actually help to deliver it, and we're saying at the moment we don't
that's
have
not the
the
intention.
capacity.
Sorry if that's misled you. No, that is not the intention. We will do all that. What I'm looking for in terms of support is fundamentally funding.
So have you got a fully costed plan for this?
Not really, because I can't get prices out of anyone until I know exactly where we're going with it.
So, right, okay. Is there anybody else got any questions that they want to put to Mr. Hone? Councillor Rhodes.
I appreciate we've not had a carnival since 2008, but and I don't know what reasons were for preventing the carnival.
Apparently
Oh,
Andrew
okay.
Latham seemed to think it was something to do with the changeover from Cheshire County Council to the two authorities that subsequently followed.
I don't know because
And changing health and safety regulations and
Yeah.
public transport insurances, etc.,
Yeah.
which, yes, did put it beyond the funding of some councils. But just to say, actually, after 2008, there was actually a number of events which were done in bank holiday in Queen's Park by other organisations which delivered walking parades around Queen's Park, and so to say there hasn't been anything is incorrect, because there has been a number of events which I know, because I've been involved in on Bank Holiday Monday, August Bank Holiday and that weekend, delivering. So yes, the carnival in that format stopped, but other things have taken place in you know, one just prior to the pandemic.
So I don't, because I wasn't involved, like Dawn was, in producing the carnival, but I know we haven't had a carnival. We have had other major events like Traction, but it's not a carnival. So I appreciate what you're asking, but we obviously have got an events programme mapped out for this year. So if we were going to offer any support at all, it would have to be in the following year. So we're talking, you know, 25, 26, because we have to carry out the programme of events that we've currently got organised. And I think, and I don't, as I say, I only ever view the carnival as a spectator, but I think that you're going to need, I think before we as the town council commit to anything, to have a pool of volunteers that actually could help you run the carnival. And we as a council, if we're thinking about giving support, would want proper funding and budgets and assurance that the money would be spent in a way that you've designated in your plans. So whilst we support the ambition, we obviously need to put that into our, if it's going ahead, we need to put it into our programme, and we need much more detail about how you proceed and what you would do and the sort of costs.
Okay, so your recommendation is to push it back 12 months?
My recommendation is that you come to the council if you want funding with a proper proposal, which has got a proper business plan, risk assessment, so that as a council we can be assured that things are being done appropriately, and that you have the capacity to deliver the carnival.
Shall we move on to Councillor Mortimer?
Just one quick question. There's an amount on here. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2,000.
Yeah.
Where did that
Go on to
figure
grant.
derive from? It's out of interest.
Well, my business put £300 in.
Okay, I'm conscious that we've had the 5-minute
Yeah, it's
public
all right.
participation, but
So-
what we can do as a gift is move on to talk about 6.7 and this application form now, discuss it, and then Mr. Hales doesn't have to then hang about to the,
No,
for the rest
it's
of the meeting. So if you want to move to, it's page 50 in the agenda packs, which is the full application form, which you've all had sight of previously. So do you want to go into more detail then about the costings then, Councillor Mortimer?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I suppose I was picking up from what Jill was saying. I mean, yeah, obviously, for us to consider it, we want a detail, and that's why I wondered where that was derived from. It is not very detailed, but I mean, carnivals is a good thing. If anything, if it, that amount of money, I don't think is huge to
It's just a start.
It's
We're going around talking to businesses.
yeah, it's not a lot. So, but if you can engage other businesses and they contribute,
That's what we're trying to do.
so then that would be a completely different thing. I mean, I don't know what our autumn agenda is like. I don't know, but autumn's a good time.
We do, the
So-
next application round ends in April,
Yeah.
and we discuss it in our May committee. So we could defer this.
Do you want to do that? And
Yeah.
Well, it would, it'll give you that time to go and to get the risk assessments in plan.
And it would
cost-
still give us time to do it this year if we wanted to.
If we was, yes,
Yeah.
we can review it and inclined with what, the funding will be there, but I could say go away, get a realistic funding,
Yeah.
get realistic match funding, because at this current time you don't meet our match funding criteria, and also look at the things that we will actually fund and won't fund, because there are,
No, that's very common.
we're quite strict on our
I think you've been
applications.
very positive, and I like
Yeah.
that. See,
Yeah.
to me, this is, this is not my field at all. I want to find out just what your feelings are and where you want to take it to. If you're going to say you're interested, we'll work harder on it.
Town Clerk.
Sorry, Chair and members. Only trying to help, if I say the wrong thing, I apologise. It seems that members expressed support for the ambition and the positivity and the aim of a carnival, but have reservations associated with the available detail at this time because it's part of the process. And it's been suggested, we're now back in the formal part of the meeting, by the way, outside of public speaking, so it's been suggested perhaps, unless someone has a proposal they wish to put forward, that the application is deferred, which makes it, having not been declined, means it can be resubmitted.
Okay. Fine.
And if members are minded to that, you'd have to take a vote whichever way you wish to propose it, and that would then take it forward. Equally, we can allot some time and amount of time to sit with the group and maybe help them out with some of the items that members perceive should be in the detailed proposal.
That would be very
Yeah.
helpful.
So-
I agree.
I propose we defer it.
I propose the same, yeah.
Seconded.
Yeah, me.
It's to the chair now.
Right, okay, so we have a proposal, we have a seconder,
Yeah.
and all those in favour of the item being deferred?
Okay, that's fine. Thank
Anybody
you.
against? Anybody
No, it's
abstaining?
unanimous,
It's
yeah.
unanimous. Thank you. All right, Mr Hales.
Okay,
I hope
let
that
me just
was-
say before I go, thank you for listening. If you've got any contacts, details, anything that would be helpful, please let me know.
What we'll do, Mr Hales, is we'll ask Jackie to connect you with our events manager.
That's Rosie.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And then we'll arrange a time when we can sit down and maybe go through a bit more of the detail.
Okay.
And we'll ask the members to feed into that as well.
Please do.
It's
And anything you want, information, ask.
That's what
Particularly the guy at the end, sorry, I've forgotten your name already, which is
Councillor Edwards.
Gabriel. If you want to have a private meeting with me sometime, and you give me some contacts of the groups that have been involved before, I'm happy to talk to them.
Yeah, as the chair of events, this I think your case is more suited for that committee, in my opinion, because in this committee we tend to support established organisations, groups, charities, etc. But as mentioned, this year we are all settled and
Okay.
sorted, but definitely very interested to support
Okay.
you.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I escape out the back door? Or do I have to
You're
go
welcome to go that way or that way.
Go the back door, cars out the back. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we return to the agenda
So-
published to 6.1, Chair.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So item 5 then, to review the year-to-date financial position for the Community Plan Committee. Pardon? Eh?
You're right, I said 6.1.
I'm ignoring you, Pete.
Seems fair.
Okay, so agenda item 5, that gives the details of our expenditure to date. Is there any questions? Okay, so we're all happy to move on then. Do we need these are
It's
just for noting,
Yeah.
so we don't need to vote on anything. So if we then move on to agenda item 6, which is to consider grant applications. So 6.1, which is South Cheshire Clasp. So they are seeking funds for it's a peer support project, isn't it? So
In review between yourself and the officer, you came to the conclusion that you might recommend it for approval.
yes, I'm trying to see if she's noted that on.
She has on page 7.
Okay, so yeah, so we went through it, and yeah, Clasp have got a well-established reputation within Crewe, the support that they give, and this is enhancing their services that they already give. So, and in the costings there was nothing which was awry. So,
Can I just query? It's not specific to this grant or application, but volunteer value is listed on the item list.
yeah.
What is a volunteer value?
It's a national social value which is calculated for the cost of an hour of a volunteer's time, which it's about £11.79.
Something like that.
Yeah. So that's will be what that will be. So it's what you do when you sort of do match fund is look at the number of volunteer hours times by that, and that's what you get as match funding. But these do have other funding from church wardens, charity.
So that is a legitimate indirect match funding.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, it's commonly, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So do we have any other questions related to this? So shall I put it to the vote then? All those in? Yes, Councillor Rhodes.
I've read what the charity's saying
Yeah.
and what they do, but I can't find any link, or maybe I just haven't read it properly, as to why they want what they want. Because it's not saying we run a craft session for children. It's not saying, women or parents have expressed an interest in wreath making. And I've got no objection to what they're asking for, but I think the application could have actually said a bit more about what they're actually doing.
It says the workshops are a direct result
Yeah,
of
but it's
feedback from beneficiaries.
It's not telling me what workshops.
Right. Which I take it is the Reiki workshops,
Yeah,
the
you can work out what the workshops are.
Yeah, okay.
But you know,
Yoga, yeah, exercise.
and I noticed that every workshop's only going to cover 12 people, and I appreciate the amount of small premises and whatever else, but I think it's something for the future if they're going to apply in future. I can see it says, healthy eating ingredients, so obviously they're doing a cooking course, but I don't get that from the information. So I think in future, if they're going to apply for a grant, they need to tell us exactly what they're doing with the money.
Project that's been delivered, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Can I just
Councillor
ask?
Hoggle.
Sorry.
yeah, Lena?
I'm just wondering, direct match funding, where the Nantwich Church Wardens merged charities come in. Is that previous funding they've had?
No, they secured that against this.
Yeah, Nantwich Church Wardens. I'm just a bit confused with that. Staff costs.
Right, it's in the breakdown, Councillor, with the group facilitator costs of £1,000 and the grant funding secured from the Nantwich Church Wardens merged charities is £1,000, so it directly correlates with that.
Okay.
Just seeking proposals.
Do we have a proposal for this project? Yeah. Seconded? Thank you. All those in favour?
It's unanimous, Chair.
Right. 6.2, the Malali Association. So,
Page 14.
yeah. So, recommendations for partial approval. See the caveat to remove the room hire and seek to find out how it will be paid for before agreeing to fund the difference figure. Is what myself and Jackie, when we went through it, those are the issues that we had. Councillor Rhodes.
Again, I was seeing computer software and a printer and stationery, but I'm not actually seeing what they're going to do with it. Yeah, if they're going to work with youngsters, but
There's nothing to say what the activities
there's nothing to say
are.
what they're going to do with the computer software and the printer.
It was to produce the materials to deliver those activities.
But nowhere in the application is
Just
just saying
say-
that.
I think it must be a question that I asked, the same question. I think that's what the answer that we got back.
And I mean, I've no objection to giving them a grant, but I fail to see why I should give them a grant for basically producing worksheets. Sorry to be a teacher, like.
Okay, councillor Hogben?
Do we pay for rent as well?
No, which is why we
Normally,
said
do we?
no, so that's why we've taken that out. So the rent and the grant that we're proposing would be substantially £550.
Right.
Councillor Edwards?
Perhaps we can request how, because this sounds like funding for becoming self-reliant, self-sustainable in future.
Yes.
Perhaps we can ask for more information on how the computer software, the printer, the stationery will be used, and how that will benefit the group moving forwards.
Okay.
Can I be
Councillor
brutally
Graham.
honest? Sorry, I'm jumping in. Can I be brutally honest? If it said computer games, I'd have no issue because I could see those being used by the children on the evening. But I can't see anything that's showing me what's going to be used by the children.
Software may be related to licenses. For example, the Microsoft package, enabling them to use word processors, creative apps, maybe programs.
You don't know, do you?
No.
Do you?
Councillor Graham?
I thought you said you'd already asked them.
Yeah, and that was, so this is where it came back with that this is what it's going to be used with, they needed this equipment to be able to deliver the activities at the junior club.
So I think that clarifies it, doesn't it?
Which was basically what,
Yeah.
so, but if we are going down the lines where we want more details of the project, what it will actually be used for, we could defer and ask those questions and defer it to the next committee. Yes, Councillor Rhodes.
Can I suggest that we grant them the £550, but we specify what it has to
Yeah,
be used for?
yeah, yes, okay, yeah,
Because that way we know that it's going to be used for activities
and
for
as we
those
know,
children.
as we're aware, our community manager, she does monitor these grants and the use of the grants closely, so we'll get that information fed back to us. Councillor White?
And just to be explicit, we'll need to know that they can get aware from the room hire.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Dependent
part of
on
match
that, isn't
funding,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if we note that then with caveats.
We've got a proposal to fund £550 associated specifically with the software, printer and stationery, subject to confirmation that it's going to only be used for not only, it's for the purpose of using it with the youth work that they do, and that they must demonstrate how the other funding they sought will be acquired.
So that's a proposal. Who's going to propose that? Councillor Graham. Seconded. Councillor Edwards. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Moving on then to 6.3, Crew Creative Champions. Not to be confused with.
No, it's another free season.
Yeah.
Right, so this was recommended for approval subject to more details being provided. Again, I think this goes back to...
Can I point out that in this funding they have, and it isn't to be funded insurance, and we don't fund insurance.
Yes, yeah,
So perhaps you take that.
yeah. So... Any questions from anybody, or else do you want a few minutes? Councillor White.
Just a statement, really. I'm volunteering to help out this, so I'll have to not vote on anything.
Okay. So, Councillor Rhodes.
If we've got these murals in the windows of 5 empty shops in town, why are we taking them out?
I think it will be taken out if those units were ever to be used.
But why are we paying for them to be removed? If that's what he says.
And I think that it's just having that provision should they ever need to be removed.
Perhaps they are specific to the event, and
Yeah, but anything that's in a shop window has got to be better than a blank piece of glass.
think it's the optimism of maybe the shops will be used.
Okay.
It's a fair point. I'm not trying to stifle the discussion. Sorry.
Is that a touch of pessimism? I've just brought up.
So as we said, we don't fund the public liability insurance. There's £96 there, and the mural removal seems to be something which would be now wanted in the future. So should we remove that and yeah. So that's the proposal then, is to remove £246 from the application. So right, the proposal for that one, please. Sally, Councillor Graham, seconded. Councillor Dennis Staines Francis. All those in favour? Those against? Abstentions? So the next one is 6.4, which is Crew Clean Team, which is Save Our Swifts.
I love those.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of the most which sort of So this is about making boxes to give out to encourage Swifts to come back to Crewe. Used to be a lovely site actually, the Swift. So 50 Swift boxes, 10 Swift calling playing devices, and books to raise awareness. So, right, any questions? Councillor Graham.
I think they've missed an important point in this application, which that the making of the boxes and engaging with nature is very good for mental health. So I'm very supportive of this.
So 100% behind Councillor Graham. Yeah. Councillor Edwards.
Have they provided detail on where the boxes will be placed? Just curious.
Not yet, but that
No.
will form part of their after grant
That's-
feedback.
Yeah.
I should hope it would be on a new multi-storey car block.
Yeah.
Because I read that
And the greenest space.
a lot of
So they have spoken to Cheshire Wildlife Trust, who are supporting them, and they are also working with Bentley Motors for them to install a few Swift boxes as well. So so they are, a few days after the initial so the Facebook page which they put up has got a response as well from people who want to take them. So they've got 30 responses there already. So I don't think there's going to be any shortage of people taking up the Swift boxes.
No.
Councillor Rhodes.
Are Men in Sheds going to be involved in building these boxes?
No one's approached Men in Sheds at this moment in time, and I think I should know if they had, as I'm the chairman of Men in Sheds. So,
Or would they have to be professional ones? Oh,
excuse me?
I'm not suggesting that you're should I say specialist?
Specialist is a far better word.
They very much are a specialist design.
Perhaps we could suggest that they did liaise with Men in Sheds.
Sure we can make that.
Sorry, I'm
Sorry about that.
When
She
they,
didn't mean it.
I'll insult you
some
later.
bricks, aren't they, as well?
Exactly. They are
Yeah,
specialists.
some of them actually are bricks, rather the boxes are bricks, which you have put into build new buildings. Have Swift boxes as brick. They're a brick that get built
So how
into
many-
the
how
construction.
many
If
did
you watch
they want?
Countryfile on
50.
Sunday, it was definitely on the Swift box feed.
Oh yes, it was on
Yes,
Country
yeah.
File.
I imagine
Right.
we can make the connection you've said, that's absolutely
Yes.
fine. Obviously that's not within the grant application.
But we could suggest the link.
Quite right.
Yes, that they talk to. Right, so do we have a proposal? Oh, Councillor Y.
I have every faith that Dennis can tailor Swift boxes. And the other thing is just, it reminds me that we used to have fantastic, spectacular murmurations and
We did,
starlings,
yes.
and all the trees got down. So I'm just giving an early warning that I'm going to be raising the tree issue, and this is a good reminder to brace you for that. Not in this meeting.
No.
Right, okay, so do
Can
we
I,
have a
please, sorry. 50 boxes at £2,350 works out at £47 each.
Okay.
That to me is exorbitant.
They've got two other items.
It's 2,100, which is for 50 Swift boxes.
Right, sorry.
Yeah, but even so, it's quite
But still-
expensive.
So it's 4,600.
I think, like
For 50 boxes.
Councillor Clark says, that they are specialist boxes and they do have brick. Some of them do have brick fronts,
Yeah.
brick design front.
Well,
I know it sounds like a wooden bird box to you, but,
But it's
they're
not.
It's
They are
probably
actually,
a particular hardwood
hidden.
or something, isn't it?
yeah, it's like a hardened resin frontage as well.
£50 each though.
Well, you charged a bit for those hedgehog boxes. They didn't come in.
Right, are we going to propose for this, please? We're falling into chaos.
Very nice though.
Right, Councillor Graham, seconded. Councillor White. All those in favour? Yeah, thank you. Against?
Don't you worry about it. You won't want to move next door to you.
Right, 6.5, the Lighthouse Centre. To seek committee opinions re the inflatables and to remove the insurance amount of £200. So, the inflatables form the major part of this application, which is £1,800, which does seem to be, you know, rather expensive for.
Imagine how many Swift boxes you get.
I know, yeah.
Be quiet in the cheap seats.
And my also other concern was actually that the fire brigade services that they're charging £200. I've never known the fire brigade charged to actually come along to a community event. So I would also want to seek more details about what that exactly is for. And we need more details about the bouncy castles and what exactly is being supplied for that. So my proposal would be to defer it and ask for more information, details and quotes from the bouncy castles, inform that the public liability insurance can't be, and we want to know what the fire brigade are actually charging for.
Is that a proposal?
That's, yes I am.
Then I'll second it.
I don't think I'm allowed to propose actually.
You are.
Councillor White.
I think there is a big question mark over inflatables because there has been quite a few accidents locally.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about them.
In the previous events at the Valley Park, it's been mainly inflatables, and they tend to put them into the old paddling pool area, and it has been like an assault course, inflatables and big inflatables. But you know, last time I was there, somebody went off the top of the slide, and you know there didn't seem to be adequate supervision. Now that's why it's costing that, is they're actually asking them to supply the staff to man them, but I think we do need more details to ensure that that's why they're so costly, is that the company supplying the equipment is also manning it, but we want those caveats and we want safeties.
Did you get a proposal to defer?
Safety issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You did, I'll second it.
There's a second.
Right, all those in favour?
Unanimous.
Thank you. So we move on to 6.6, hope for more. So the recommendation for partial approval to remove once again the room hire and more details requested and provided with the products see below. So the products which they are. Councillor Edwards.
The first item is most of the cost. What does framing refer to?
We don't know, that's why we need to know more about what's,
That's framing the pictures we're making,
Because they're making
Yeah.
clothes and mugs and...
isn't it? Can I
Yes, Councillor White.
I visited this project ages ago, and the children go through a quite intensive teaching course of artwork. So they do produce artwork, and one of the things that they it's the presentation of it to make the kids feel a bit professional, so that's why I would guess that was quite a lot of money for that.
Yeah, it do, yeah. So again, the products we guess again that the products are the mugs and things that they're actually painting and creating. So, but again, it's not one we feel to decline, but to actually sort of defer for more information. Councillor Graham.
Clearly we've got to take the room hire out.
Yes.
But could they include the printing of the invitations?
Yes.
So yeah.
But why are we paying for hire of the tablecloths?
Yeah. You know.
Why don't we just buy some?
What's wrong with the paper?
Yeah.
Tablecloths.
In paper. Yeah.
It is like that.
I'll propose deferral.
Thank you. Seconded.
Seconded.
Yeah. Councillor Edwards. All those in favour? Thank you. 6.7 we have already discussed. So, looks like it's right. So, move on to item 7, to provide the end of grant update to members regarding groups funded by the small grant scheme within the last financial year. So, Jackie has written the details of the grants.
Purposes has been noting, Chair, after the grants are given, it's nice and it's appropriate that organisations give us an update on how the money was spent, and this group has just submitted their report and some positive aspects of the person, people who've actually received the service. So that's what you received there. There's no decision to be made on that.
Is consideration of future grants dependent on them sending us a report?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Okay, so that's noted. Agenda item 8, to provide an update to members on the progress of the business delivery plan. So, is there any questions anybody has regarding to the updates on the delivery? So, we have an update there on the DFIBs, what's been spent in the last round, the Tree of Light which took place, which Dennis was did his mayoral duties at, despite the freezing weather. So, and Beechwood Primary School joined. So, St Peter's Church, which is the edible and holiday hunger project, which is going really well. So, and they've just delivered another one in February, and we've got Easter coming up as well. So, they continue to provide valuable support. So, the lunch crew. We have invested some new equipment with the funds, and the badminton, tennis net and football goals are proving to be very popular. So that's supporting the lunch, the liver activities. And there's an update there about Ruskin Road allotment as well. Pop-ups in the park. So, and those will be, we delivered the first year of a 3-year programme, so year 2 is in planning and should be coming to us shortly with where they're going to be. So the details about their marketing and promotions. So and last year's programme, which, as I say, they are developing this year's programme that will come to us full sight shortly. So female mental health, the period dignity contribution. So that we're giving out there. Dignity projects. So the white ribbon accreditation, that's taken place. The first meeting of the group has met. And this Saturday at Crewe Women's International Day, we are doing our first promotion that Crewe Town Council is White Ribbon accredited. So we have most of the equipment has arrived, I think. So has it? Right. Okay. So yeah. So I'll be setting up on Friday night, and Councillor White and Councillor Yates, they are going to be going along, and I'll be joining later on in the day. So yeah, so a good show. And we also supported Crewe Women's International Women's Day as well. So are you attending?
Yes.
Yes. So yes. So male mental health. So Wilderness Tribe. That group seems to be developing, and number of people attending is going up. So we started off with 6 down to 4. Now they're back up to 8. So which is good to see that that's reaching lots of people. Together We Grow is a young people supported adults mental health wishing well. So that project is at the Georges Community Centre. So I shall be going along to pick my first garlic, which I planted last year. So I shall be going to see. And the friendship groups there, details about how they're developing with Wishing Well. Bereavement counselling, I think that is actually getting a lot of support, use at the moment. I know the social media has been promoting that, and it seems to be something. The take up is really. It's hard to say it is doing well because of the service that it's providing, but it is proving that it was a service which was vital to the area. So, and Good Buddies as well as a group which is growing for meeting monthly. So veteran support, Crewe Armed Forces Veterans Breakfast, and the Royal British Legion Crewe branch support. Dementia groups are being supported, and the debt counselling support. We did meet with Penny Smart regarding support for changing lives, and really the money that we had wasn't enough really to fund a Penny Smart advisor. So they wanted us to look at developing, training Penny Smart volunteers to support changing lives and the food banks. But they've already got funding for that course, so we've been signposting people to that and I'm monitoring the situation. So ethnic community support, the equality, diversity and inclusion. We're still exploring options, commissioning a suitable provider for this. We looked at some commissioning, but it wasn't going to deliver what we wanted. So we're going.
It's an ongoing relationship.
Yes, so we're re-looking at what we want out of it. So, so there's some. So we've key community group support. So myself and Councillor Graham and the community manager Jackie, we met with certain groups because we got some funding for emergency funding and a response, and it was allocated as it's indicated there. So warm clothing and accessories, Changing Life. Again, Motherwell warm clothing for female adults and children. St Paul's Centre was to support the Beechwood Kitchen. Wishing Well had catering support, and St Andrews was for energy costs and additional sessions that they put on to provide warm spaces. So volunteering in one or more from community groups and charities, that volunteer recruitment is a real issue. The community manager and another events manager attended a meeting recently where it's discussed open. The CBS already have a volunteer portal and would be happy to head up a campaign, but need funding and help to support to deliver and promote. Further details have been requested from CBS on their existing portal. Members will also be kept up to date on any other progress. There is also Community Connect portal, which is now on Cheshire East website, which again is very similar. Community groups can put on there exactly what support they're looking for, and businesses can actually put on there what they actually want, can support, and hopefully there's a match somewhere along the lines. So if anybody doesn't know about it. Community Awards networking event. The events manager and the community manager are in the planning stages of putting together a community awards event to be delivered in October. It would make sense to combine it with a networking event immediately before. More details will be provided and is part of the draft business plan. And I'm sure it's part of events. So, twinning update from Clive Mosby on Cantor. So, plans for the proposed visit starting on the 27th of February. Students will be in the college in the morning prior to coming to the municipal building to meet the mayor. Yeah, and we'll go to Bentley showroom for 3:30. So yeah, so that's all happened, has it? I take it, yes. Be in the mayor's report at full council. Oh. Okay, so that was.
It's been noting, Chair, that there's over 20 streams of work being delivered by that officer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's quite a comprehensive list and some detail associated with those over 20 streams of work.
Yeah, so yeah, it's well done, you know, for the capacity of, you know,
Part-time officer.
yes, exactly. So yeah, so that's just for noting. So moving on to agenda item 9, the community plan committee of 5th, and provide an update to members of the progress of the White Ribbon plans. So as I say, the steering group met, and there is a set action plan which White Ribbon wanted to go through. So we went through and looked at who's going to be actioning what within that, and engaging and how we're going to engage. So there's things around engaging men and boys, changing culture, raising awareness. I think raising awareness is something which, you know, as I say, on Saturday, this is where we're going to starting with, is raising awareness and how people who are going through that abuse can actually access information. So, and the next committee meeting is already set, late April. So yeah, we'll continue to bring updates as we progress with that delivery plan. Any questions? Okay. So to move on to item 10, which is the draft business plan for the next 12 months. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, it's the practice of the council to have a completed corporate business delivery plan ready for the following financial year, which obviously starts in April. Each committee informs that. You saw this one in January. It's not significantly, if at all, changed from there. It continues the work of the committee as it's been set out, with the additional direction the committee gives through the year. For example, more of a commissioning model than waiting passively for grants. Things like that. It will continue the work streams and actually increase the work streams from this committee, and also accounts for new aspects, including the financial support for the library. And what will happen is, if you're minded to do so, is that this is recommended to form part of the full corporate committee that goes before council at the end of this month.
Okay. Do you have a proposal for that?
Yep.
Seconded. Councillor Rose.
I've got no problem with this going to council, but this money that we're giving to the Crewe Parish Community Development, we supported things like the lunch through and things for a number of years. And for me personally, it's always been that we should pump prime it and then they should become sustainable through their own efforts. And over the years, and I'm going back a long time, we have given a considerable amount of money to these organisations. And I know you can't do this tonight because it's got to be, and it'll have to go through council, but I'd like this reviewed. Because I think if I was a member of another church, I might not be so happy that a relatively small number were getting funding over a long period. So and I know you can't change what's here tonight, but I just think it's something going
Well,
forward.
as members, you do everyone. I would say that Jackie has, on all these things, has gone and do we call a request for expressions of interest to numerous groups. And most of it's done collaboratively anyway. And as these are services to those with the greatest needs, the consistency needed. However, as a committee, you're entirely right to direct the officers or officers to review it in any way you want. But I think Jackie would be the best place to respond accordingly.
I agree.
But I just, as an early reassurance, hopefully, I can tell you now that Jackie is often, because she asked me to read over them, she often does expressions of interest requests and then offers them out and then balances off what comes in and what doesn't. So she'll be a better place to give you more reassurance
Yeah,
and
but
detail.
that's why I say I understand
Yeah.
it's got to go through as it is, but I just would like long term.
But I think it's totally appropriate and it should be directed of the office to go that way.
Yeah, I totally agree with Councillor Rhodes and what she's saying about pump prime and seeding groups, but unfortunately when it's giving food to families who can't afford it, it's difficult to actually say how you can make that sustainable in the future by that particular group. But I do, you
The
know,
point I just wanted to make was it depends on the nature of the project.
yeah.
Some can never become self-sustaining. They will always be dependent on grants from a number of sources. And your concern about other churches being upset, I think this is considered to be an ecumenical project.
Yeah.
All the other churches are very much behind them.
I think it'd be nice for Councillor points out to get that evidence though presented to the committees. The committee's reassured that we have checked. We've checked and challenged, not just complacently carried on down the same path. I think that's a quite appropriate challenge.
And part of Churches Together in Crewe, and I can tell you for a fact,
Yeah.
it is an ecumenical, it is considered to be an ecumenical project.
That's good.
Thank you. So that's the business plan noted then.
No, it needs to be recommended to council.
So we recommend a proposal then to recommend the draft business plan from the community plan to full council. Do I have a proposal,
I'll move.
please? Seconded.
Seconded.
All those in favour? That's carried. So then, item 11 is the proposed date for the next meeting, which is the Tuesday the 28th of May at 6 p.m. Okay, we don't have any other business, so okay, so I'll close the meeting then. Thank you very much for your